support. So recording now. So we'll start seated. I'm going to sit onto this pillow, and you can sit on whatever you would like. You can sit on a pillow, you can sit on a blanket, just something to lift your hips up a little bit and find a nice tall spine. So as you find your seat, sometimes our spine is still kind of rounded and our hips feel tight just sitting on the ground, and that's normal. And so just grab another pillow, grab more blankets, and just sit higher so that you can allow your legs to get a little bit more relaxed. Okay, and I'll meet you on our mat. Winnie, please behave. Okay, so grabbing your seat, sitting as high as you need to, right? Start to cross at your legs, or maybe the bottoms of your feet connect, right? And so you just find a position that feels nice and comfortable for you, where you're not overly stretching really anything yet. And you're just able to find a nice tall spine behind you. Okay. And then start to lengthen the spine nice and tall, and allow your eyes to slowly shut down. Okay, the dog just took both of my socks. Good, and that'll distract her. So allow your eyelids to shut down. Allow your eyelids to relax over the eyeballs. And then start to relax your face. Maybe an exhale helps you to just get a little heavier in your seat, in your face. Take another deep breath in here. And then an open mouth exhale, sigh it out. Try to sit taller, inhaling up the length of the spine. And exhaling, squeezing the belly in, getting a little bit emptier. Oh, I'm so glad you thought that was cute. I thought it was cute too. All right, inhaling nice and deep up the length of the spine, like you're feeling breath between the bones of your back. And an open mouth exhale, just sighing out the day, right? Today is the spring equinox. Yay, happy spring. Keep breathing deeply, right? Just keep breathing deeply as I just talk here. And so just recognize that today is a day of renewal. Today is a day of kind of thinking and planning ahead a little bit. What are the things that we're looking to grow in our life that we want to bring our attention to, maybe just this evening in this practice? What are the things you are looking to grow in your life? More of, new. Maybe it's a feeling inside, right? Maybe just feeling contentment. Maybe it's growing a garden, right? Maybe it's growing stronger relationships around you, family, friends, coworkers. There's so many different things that we can grow in our life. So just as we're shifting from our day into our yoga practice, this time of transition, just notice and observe, what are you looking to grow more of in your life? And don't worry if nothing comes to mind. Maybe you're like, there's nothing I want to grow. And that's okay. Sit with that idea of feeling like there's no room for growth. Right? And maybe throughout our practice, as we move and stretch, you can come to a place of feeling like there's always room to grow. And let's bring your palms together now in front of your heart. Allow your head to drop down. So you're connecting your mind with your heart, and take a moment to set an intention for yourself. An intention to support your growth, what you're looking to grow more of in your life on this first day of spring. It can be a word or a phrase or whatever it might be. Feel the beginning of a smile happen on the inside of your mouth. And then start to feel the corners of your mouth lift to your ears to give your amazing self a smile. And take a nice full breath in here. And an open mouth exhale. Just release your hands back down to your lap. Open the eyes, blinking open, letting light in. And just lean back, straighten out your legs, and just release the cross for a second. Rock your ankles side to side and do big circles. Just move around here, just into our ankle joints, starting there, the joints in our feet, your toes scrunching, spreading and opening. Okay, and then let's cross our legs again, but the opposite leg is in front. Okay, and again, you can keep your legs straight. You can bring the bottoms of your feet together wherever you want to go. But if you were in a cross position, bring the opposite leg in front. Okay, and then start to drop your chin to your chest as your hands rest down next to you, heavy head. And then sweep your right ear towards your right shoulder, lifting your chin a little. And then slowly bring your chin back down and sweep your left ear over to your left shoulder. Okay, and then just keep doing that, sweeping chin down and over ear to shoulder. Winnie dropped the sock from her platform, so she to get down, come down and get it. All right, ready, take it. And just start to continue moving your head and your neck side to side. And you might be doing a big circle, and that's fine, but observe, starting to lift through your chin versus just letting your head draw backwards and crunching your cervical spine. We want to be intentional about lengthening the neck as we're moving around in a circle versus just crunching it back, even if it feels okay, right? That's big compression on your spinal cord, your neck. And so you want to keep the length in between, the space between the bones. So we're not pushing on the kind of fluid between the bones too much. And then we'll pause your chin at your chest and just start to bring your arms out and up as you inhale and look up as well. Slowly open your arms wide, reach your arms down and bring your chin to your chest. So just starting to move the arms and opening up into the sides of the body a little and finding still some movement with our neck here. So as you're lifting that gaze up, keep lifting through your chin. Again, careful not to draw the head too heavy back. Bring the chin towards your collarbones as you pull down, and let's lift up again and pause here. Roll your wrists around in big circles and then start opening your arms as you're rolling your wrists around. And then observe, maybe your eyes are closed and you just observe the movement in your arms as you focus on moving your wrists in circles, right? Notice the movement, the natural movement as you move your wrists around, what's happening in your forearms, what's happening in your shoulders. There's movement that's traveling up. It's the kinetic chain of your body, the realization that everything is connected, right? And then pause, bend your elbows, cactus T, and bring your arms parallel to the floor. And then start to swing your elbows around like we're just cheerleaders or you're dancing. And my shoulders are burning, so I'm sure yours are burning too. And because they're burning, our mind is like, stop, give up. You don't have to hold your arms up, don't do it. But we can still do it. We just have to burn through that mental blockage that's discouraging us. The realization is that we are a lot stronger than we think we are. And by bringing ourselves into these places of discomfort where we want to give up, but we keep going, it burns through blockages in our brain and our mind and creates new pathways for our thoughts to travel, so that when we come to blockages in our real life, in our life outside of this practice, all of a sudden we can continue going versus giving up. Woo! All right, and then open wide, reach up, and lower your arms all the way down. Feel how good it feels to release. Right, just pause, keep a nice tall spine, just pause in stillness. Allow your body to be still after so much movement. Take a big breath in. And an open mouth exhale. Sigh it out. And then start to roll the right shoulder back, and then the left shoulder, and then the right and the left. And now you're kind of doing this swimming movement with your shoulders, right? Another little dance move here. And just moving around our shoulder joints is all we're doing. Let your arms move around with you. It's like you're like, woo, yeah. Get some groove into it, and then go in the opposite direction, which feels a little more awkward for me. I don't know how about you. All right, and then notice, yeah, we're moving our shoulders, but our arms are moving, right? And then also our rib cage is moving. If you bring your hands on your ribs and you just try to move your shoulders, now it's kind of like you're moving your elbows, but notice the movement in your torso, right? And also the spine. And then roll both shoulders back, forward and down, right? And then all the way back and down, and then again. And then go in the other direction, swing back and forward and down. Scrunch up to the ears. Triceps burning. All right, and then shake it out. Okay, nice big breath as you pull the elbow or the shoulders up to the ears. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And as you exhale, really heavily drop them. Inhale, squeeze, lift up. Exhale, drop. Again, squeeze and lift up. Exhale, release. Okay, all right. Do some circles with your head and neck. Just release through the neck a little bit there. Open your jaw wide. Stretch it out. Okay, let's bring your legs forward again. We've been seated forever. So let your legs go forward. Shake out the ankles. Roll the ankles around. Squeeze the toes, right? Just release the grip there. No, Winnie, not right now. Okay, let's lift your arms up really tall, really lengthen your legs, and you can keep your knees pretty bent here, that's fine. Start to reach forward and fold and grab for your feet or your legs. Take a deep breath in, lift your chest. And as you exhale, fold, pull your heart down over those legs. Let the head start to get heavy. And then allow your breath to help you stretch. Breathe into your back. Feel your back ribs expand and contract. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Start to tuck your chin in. Usually the head is hard to let go of, right? As it's holding it up all the time. Those muscles that travel down the neck to the back are working. And when we release the head, it starts to tug at them. And that is sensation. It's sensational. Rock a little side to side. And then slowly come all the way up. Okay, I'm gonna just face the front of my mat. Hopefully you are too. Take yourself off of whatever you're sitting on. Make it a pillow for the dog. Come on. Go over here. All right, take my thought. Go there. So now bring your hands behind you and rotate your fingers as forward towards the front of the mat or your body as you can. Not close to your body, so a little bit back, but your fingers are pointing towards your body. And then spread to the other hand, and so your fingers are really wide. So even look at them. Observe the space between your fingers. Okay, and then your fingers can be fanned out any amount as you need for just, feeling comfortable and not too, intense or manipulating your body in a way that it doesn't want to. Open your feet as wide as your mat and lift your chest up. And then just take a big breath right into your chest, pressing into your hands. Another big inhale. And exhale. And then just start to rock your knees from side to side. Lifting and rocking. And lifting and rocking. Just a little left and a little right. Keep pressing into the hands. Keep your chest still nice and broad. Squeeze your shoulders against your spine behind you. Good. And then pause here at the center. Okay, readjust everything, but bring your feet hip distance. Press into your hands and your feet. Squeeze your glutes and lift your chest up and your hips up. And then slowly lower back down. And do 5 more of those. Press as you exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift, look up. And inhale, come down. Exhale, press up. Inhale, come down. Exhale, press. Inhale, down. One more time. Press it up, lift, look up. Exhale, come on down. All right, feet wide. Rock your knees over to the right and then lift your left hand and twist to face behind you. Okay, you're rotating to literally look behind you, so away from me. Right, and then pull your heart up, really try to lengthen your spine. You're twisting, and then start to walk your hands towards the wall behind you. Just walk back. Maybe with an exhale, you soften in your elbows and maybe lower your right elbow to the floor. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just enjoy a couple breaths here, breathing into the side of your body, the kind of midsection of the body and the left side. Maybe after a couple breaths, you start to drop towards the other elbow, both elbows. And stay with your breath here, right? Again, notice how your breathing helps you stretch. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Then we'll bring your hands back to the floor if they're not already. And rotate back, excuse me. And then rotate back so your knees lift and rock over to the left side and bring your right hand over to twist you back. Press into your hands, lift your spine, walk back slowly. Taking your time, maybe again dropping to your left forearm first, maybe then the right forearm. And then allow your head to follow. Start to let your head be heavy and stay with your breath. Let's do 2 more breaths here. And then after that second exhale, come back up onto the hands slowly. And then rotate back to face forward. Fingers point towards your body and out. Feet wide, rock to the right, rock to the left. Come back to center, feet hip distance, press and lift and hold it. Hold it up here. Adjust anything as you need to. My feet could go a little more forward, right? We don't want any extra straining on the backs of our ankles. We want the ankles right under those knees. Another deep breath. And then lower your hips to the floor. Big shoulder stretch there. Cross your ankles, bring the top or the backs of your hands on the floor. Round your spine enough to do that, to press the backs of your hands on the ground. And stretch your fingers as far apart as you can here. And take a big breath into your hands, your wrists, your forearms. And then slowly lift the spine, releasing your hands and just shake out those hands, maybe a couple claps. Scoot your feet out of the way. Come onto your hands and knees for tabletop position. So in tabletop, fingers are wide, knees are under hips. Cow pose, drop the belly, pull the chest forward. Exhale, cat pose, round the spine. Inhale for cow pose again. Pull your heart through the arms and try to pull the shoulders back. And as you exhale, round the spine, pull your hips forward towards your chin. Belly down, inhale, chest forward, look up. Exhale, round it out. And then tabletop position. Let's bring your big toes together, come into child's pose. Letting your hips come down to your heels, flip your palms up. Bend at your elbows and bring the palms together or hands to shoulders and let your forehead meet the ground. Then inchworm, one elbow forward and then the other elbow forward. And feel that opening in your shoulders. And then one more breath here. After you exhale, start to lift up, keeping your elbows on the ground and walk them forward. Keep walking your elbows forward. Now your hips are on top of your knees and you press into your elbows and let your forehead meet the ground. Hips are up on top of your knees. If it's too much for your elbows to be bent here, your arms can be straight. And then slowly lift your head, come forward, back onto your forearms, and then one hand at a time, press up to your hands. Okay, and then tuck the toes. Let's lift up through your downward facing dog. Pressing your hips up high, your head heavy. Start to find movement here. Bend one knee and then the other knee, just alternating the bend in the legs. Maybe you step your feet a little bit wider. Feeling your hips then shift side to side. You can get into your inner thighs a little bit. Try to bend the knees a bit and really lift your tailbone up to the ceiling, to the highest point on the ceiling. Contract your abdomen nice and strong. And then slowly come forward and drop your knees back down to the ground. Come back to child's pose and just rest here for a moment. And then slowly start to lift back up onto your hands and knees. Go over here. And from your hands and knees, we're going to extend your right leg back. Foot on the floor. So keep your right toes on the ground. Let that leg go back. And then just move forward and back here. Start to connect with your hands. Fingers are wide. Pressing the perimeter of your palms down. Grip the ground so your hands are active. And that naturally is going to help you take weight out of your wrists. So if typically your wrists are sensitive, just flex your hands. You're utilizing more muscles than what you're used to using. Contract your abdomen now and start to lift that right leg. Bend the knee and do huge circles, pulling your right knee out to the right, forward to the elbow, down towards the floor, and then back up, foot to the ceiling. Then open the knee out to the right side, forward towards the elbow. It's not like you have to touch it. Hovering down and then squeezing your glute to help you lift the leg. Opening out, try to keep both of your elbows as straight as you can here so that you're isolating awareness on what your true range of motion is in your right hip socket. Sometimes that left elbow bends for us to really exaggerate trying to lift the leg, but that's not actually taking us really into a wider range of motion. It's just compromising, really. Your body's trying to make it seem like you have that range of motion because the elbow sinks down and you can lift it higher. So keep those elbows straight and just observe what your true range of motion is. And then go in the other direction. About 5 to 8 huge circles in both directions here. So now I'm pulling the knee forward towards the elbow, opening the knee out, sweeping it back, and then down again. So huge range of motion here. Last 2. Feel how maybe your left hip is feeling fatigued. And then drop that knee down. Right away, left leg extends back. Now, if you need a rest for your wrists, let's all do it. Tuck your toes, sit on your heels, and just take a moment taking weight out of your hands. And just shake them out. Just shake them out. Bring your arms up. Shake, shake, shake. Release the blood out of those hands, or you clap and rub your palms together. And then interlace here. Flip your palms up. Let's stretch them. Press your palms up. Take a deep breath. Press higher to the ceiling. Big breath in. And then open the arms. Release your hands. And then come forward back to tabletop. Spread the fingers wide. Let's untuck the toes and tap your feet on the floor. Separate your knees hip distance. And now your left leg goes back. Keep the foot on the ground to start and just move forward and back on your ankle, your toes, getting a little bit of opening. Okay. And then pausing, really ensuring that your hands are gripped here. Let's lift that left leg, bend the knee, squeeze your thighs, squeeze your glutes, and then pull that knee forward towards your left elbow, out to the left side, lifting it up, and then back again. Sweeping down towards the elbow, out to the left, sweeping back and down. All right, so just keep going here at your own pace. Inhale, we swing it open. Exhale, we pull it in because our core is contracting. And with that exhale, we have strength and force to pull that knee close towards the elbow. And reminder, both elbows are as straight as you can keep them so that you're isolating your awareness on your range of motion in your hip. Now start to reverse your rotation. Pull the knee back and open to the left, then forward to the elbow and down. Squeezing the glutes as you lift the leg back behind you. Feeling how the hips are working for you here. Even as we're opening up into the joint, we got strength to guide us with this movement. Last two, right? Again, getting to a place of feeling like we want to give up. We just do two more and then we rest. Child's pose. Flip your palms up. Maybe you bend at your elbows again if you liked that. And relax your head and shoulders. Maybe a little wiggle jiggle side to side, just rocking left and right feels nice for your body. And then slowly start to lift back up, coming back onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes and let's make our way to our downward facing dog. Lifting your hips nice and high. Pedal out the legs. Take a deep breath in and a heavy breath out. Now, slowly step your feet forward all the way to your hands, front of the mat. Once you're there, lift halfway, bring your hands on your shins, pull your heart forward, and then as you exhale, soften the bend in the knees and fold all the way down. Do that again, inhale, halfway lift, press and lengthen. Exhale and fold all the way back down. One more time, inhale, kind of unraveling the spine into a nice long line. Exhale and fold slowly over. Roll your body up slowly, pressing into the feet, coming upright. Shoulders roll back, arms circle up. Hands to your heart as you exhale. Full breath here. And release your hands. Circle your arms all the way up again. Exhale, open the arms wide. Bend your knees along the way as you come down into your forward fold. And then relax your head here. Bring your hands on your shins with your inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, left foot steps back. So plant your hands, step back, drop your left knee down, contract your belly, and press into the right foot as you lift up. Press into those back toes, squeeze the glutes, lift the chest up, and soften the shoulders as you exhale. Take another breath. And as you exhale, start to fold forward. Start to move your hips back now as you lift your toes. Pull the tailbone back, lengthen your chest forward, and your knee can be as bent as you need it to be, but try to lift the toes higher. Contract the belly, start to fold. Really reaching back through the tailbone. Another breath in. And then slowly coming forward again. Lift the back knee up and step forward, all the way forward to your right foot. Halfway lift, hands on shins there, lengthen the spine, contract the core, pull the heart out of the hips, fold with your exhale. Plant your hands, step your right leg back. That knee comes down, squeeze your glutes, hug your belly in, strengthen the core and lift. Lengthen the ribs up from the hips really tall. Soften the shoulders. Nice full breath, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, and then press your hips back, lifting your left toes. Lift your heart a little bit, and then as you exhale, fold a little bit more. Nice full breath. One more deep inhale and exhale here. Rebending the knee. We lift that back knee up. And then slowly step back to your downward facing dog. Full breath in. And an exhale. Come forward to your plank pose. Drop both knees down, half chaturanga, bend at the elbows all the way to the belly. Pull the hands back as you pull your chest forward and up into cobra. As you exhale, fold forward again. And then do that again. Pull the hands back, lift your chest, cobra. Exhale, low. One more time. Elbows squeeze in against the ribs, shoulders pull down, and then we lower. Push into the hands, lift your torso, roll over your knees to child's pose. Hips towards your heels, forehead to the ground. Take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. And then we'll slowly lift back up, coming into your downward facing dog. Step your left foot all the way forward to the front of the mat, and then rotate over to the long edge of your mat, so to the left. You want to face the other way? You can, totally fine. Okay, and then slowly take a deep breath, press into your hands, which are kind of under your shoulders, and your ankles push out a little bit. Slowly start to fold, letting your elbows bend and letting your head come down. Relax your head as much as you can here. Take your time, allowing your elbows to bend more with each exhale. So there is a moment of pause as you inhale. You breathe into the stretch you're feeling with that inhale. And the exhale is where you can explore the stretch, going a little more maybe. Feel your spine decompress out of your hips as you hang here between your legs. Strengthen your legs. Keep your foundation strong. And then slowly press into your hands. You're going to bring your left hand under the face. Maybe you have a support, a block or something to help lift the floor to you, or your knees can be pretty bent, and that's fine. We want to keep our spine long and tall as we start to pull that right arm all the way up. Now what happens as we twist here to get really open is that our pelvis tilts, which means if you were to feel your hips, it's a slant here. Your left hip has to lift and your right hip has to drop. And that's taking you out of this twist. You're not going as far. Try to keep your heart pulling forward, squeezing the navel in with your exhales. Take one more breath, really lengthening the spine. And then slowly drop your right hand and switch. Try to keep your hips parallel to the ceiling and inhale that left arm up. Opening up your chest towards the left. Square off your hips, strengthen your legs. Lengthen your heart out of the hips, contract the core, the abdomen. A deeper breath. And then slowly releasing. Folding all the way down. Let the head get heavy. And then we'll press into those hands, contract your abdomen one at a time. Bring your hands to your hips. And slowly lift the torso. Great job. So let's pull your heel in, that's facing the front of your mat, maybe your left heel, and step forward to the front of your mat. Maybe it's your right heel, I'm not sure. Step forward to the front of your mat. We'll find ourselves standing here and we'll come into a balancing posture. So I'll face you. Start to lengthen the spine tall. Let's bring your hands to your hips. So you'll face this way. Shift your weight to your left leg. And as you do, lift your right heel so that knee bends. Contract your glutes. You're strengthening your thigh and even your lower leg. So your knee is naturally bending a little bit. That standing leg is not locked out. It's a little wobbly in a way. It's a hydraulic leg. So it's strong above and below the knee. Steady your gaze ahead of you at one point, and then start to lift your right leg so that the thigh is parallel to the floor. Contract your abdomen and start to lengthen your spine really tall. Right now, your right hand is going to come straight forward. The back of your hand is coming to your inner right knee, and you're moving that knee out to the right side. Lift the knee a little higher and grab for your foot, maybe, or keep your leg right where it is. Maybe you press that right foot into the left thigh, and then your hands come at your heart. If your left knee is still out, right, your right hand is pushing, and then your left hand can come to your heart. Just working on that external rotation in our tree pose, keeping the knee high, right? Versus when we balance, the knee is a little bit lower and the knee can come forward then. So just go wherever you can keep the integrity of the pose. There's a lot of strength building that's going on in our left leg here. Don't feel discouraged if you keep tipping and topping over. You're building strength, and that takes time. Take another full breath. And then slowly bring your right knee forward wherever it is. Extend that leg, and then drop that foot. Shake out that left leg a little bit, that foot, roll around, whatever you need to do here. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Shake those hips, and then we'll switch. Hands at hips. Strengthen the legs. Shift the weight to that right leg, automatically, intentionally bending it slightly, taking it out of the lock. Lifting the left heel, lift the spine, and then lift the leg. Left arm comes forward and to the inside of the knee. And then we push that knee out to the left, squeezing the right outer glute in towards your left hip. You're pulling in from the outer right hip. Maybe you pull that left knee higher and grab your ankle, bringing the foot to your upper thigh. Maybe not. Maybe you're just working on opening the hip a little bit. Hands can come to your heart, or just your right hand comes to your heart as your left hand is pushing that knee open. Squeeze your outer right hip in, steady the breath. Another couple breaths here. One more. And then bring that leg forward, extend it, and then lower it down. Shake it out. Release your arms, your hips. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Let's step wide. Open up your feet, hands at hips, and just move a little left and right. Just your pelvis. Okay, and then press back and forward, back and forward. Okay, and then shorten your stance, but stay wider than your hips. Press left and right. Push back and forward. Again. Pause and center, and then go to the left, sweep forward, over to the right, back, and to the left again. So yeah, you're doing huge circles. Hula hoops, roll out around those hips. Go in the other direction, sweep around. Just hip joint opening after all that balance. All right, and then slowly spacing the front of your mat, sweep your arms up, big breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your feet back to your plank pose. Drop your right knee down. Sweep your left heel over to the right. Maybe your right foot comes a little behind you and your left hand steps a little forward. Start to open up your chest to the left as you lift that left arm up to the ceiling. Slowly just rotate your left wrist around. Squeeze your shoulders on your back. And then face your left palm overhead and just reach overhead. Slowly bring that arm down in front of you. Sweep it towards the wall behind you. Lift the arm again, let it go behind you a bit. And then forward and down. Back and up. And forward and down. And then go in the other direction. Sweep forward, up, back, and down. Right, let your gaze move wherever you need to protect your neck. You can look down at your right hand. You can look out to the left. You can look up. You can let your head follow your hand, so there's movement there. Pausing, reaching overhead, slowly coming down and landing that hand and the knee. Switch, right leg back. Sweep that heel to the left, move your left foot a bit behind, maybe your left hand forward a little. Right arm up, circle the wrist. Find your breath, breathe deeply, still, always. And then reach your right arm overhead. Slowly let it come down in front of you, feeling the back opening and sweep it back and up behind you. Forward and down. Stay with the breath. And then go in the other direction, sweep back, down in front of you, forward and up. Slow and controlled shoulder circles. And then slowly coming all the way down. Left knee down, right knee down. Okay, let's scoot your feet out of the way. Come onto your seat. And bring your legs forward. Scoot forward. Right leg's gonna go long. Bend the left knee, pull it close, and then drop it to the left. Pull that foot a little higher, and then walk your hips back a little. Shimmy side to side to find the base of your hips. Start to lift your chest. Now, if you feel like it's hard to find a tall spine here, sit on something. Grab your pillow, your blanket, and just lift your seat up a little bit. With that height, you're gonna have more momentum to find a tall spine and fold forward. So when you're ready, start to fold. Relax your head. We're getting into the lower back here in the stretch. So feel your left knee root down. Keep your left hip rooted down too. Let the head get a little heavier. Take about 3 more breaths. If it feels good for your lower back, your left hand can kind of reach to the outer right leg, rotating your chest over there too. Folding down a little, it's going to start pulling at your left lower back, so just be gentle. Even if it feels like a really nice sensation, you don't want to overstretch anything, especially in the lower back. And then 1 more breath here. And then we'll slowly rise. Good. Let's bring that left knee up and go straight with it. Bring the right knee to bend and open that knee out to the right. Walk your hips back a little bit here. Shimmy, shimmy. Lift your chest nice and tall. And then slowly start to fold over this left leg. Letting your head start to follow. Trying to lengthen your heart towards your toes, which is helping you to really lengthen the back body. Maybe in these last few breaths, you kind of rotate over to the left a little bit. Walk out to the left outer leg. And then walking back to outline the leg, lifting up, bringing that knee up, both legs long. Okay, now we're gonna roll on our back so you can take your time, feet on the floor and roll down, or use your hands to support you as you come down. Lower down. Feels good to be on the back now. So bring your knees to bend and your feet as wide as your hips. Tuck your shoulders underneath you and let your arms be by your side, palms facing down. Start to press into your feet, squeeze your glutes and lift your hips up. And then try to walk your shoulders underneath you a little bit more. Maybe you interlace your fingers underneath you, interlacing your hands together. Pressing then your arms down into the floor like a little lever to help you lift your hips and feel your knees start to squeeze a little bit towards each other. Squeeze the glutes, take another big breath. And then release your hands if they're clasped and slowly roll your spine down. Bring both knees into your chest and just hold onto them. Just rock a little side to side and left and right. Hold the right knee, let your left leg go straight and down to the ground. Tuck your shoulders underneath you, squeeze that right leg in. And then let your left hand take that leg all the way to the left and let your right arm reach out towards the right side. Take a deep breath here, right into the ribs and your chest. And exhale, just softening your shoulder down. Take another deep breath here. And then slowly roll on your back and let's switch legs. Let your right leg go long. Bring your left knee into your chest and hold on to it. Squeeze it in. And just move it out a little bit to that left shoulder. You can strengthen the right leg here. Another deep breath. And then slowly let your right hand take that leg all the way over to the right. Rolling you onto your outer left or outer right hip. And let your left arm reach out to the left. Take a nice deep breath in. And out. Another inhale. And exhaling, just relaxing into this rotation. All right, and then we'll slowly roll on our backs again, bringing both of your knees into your chest. All right, and squeeze it in, squeeze those knees in. Rock a little side to side. And then let's bring the bottoms of your feet together and your knees open apart. Let the bottoms of your feet meet, your knees open wide, tuck your shoulders under you, and just rest here in a reclined bound angle pose for a few breaths. Maybe a whole minute, so about 4 deep breaths. Just allow your body to slowly soften into your hips more. We've opened a lot into kind of the lower back, the inner thighs, the hamstrings, opening all the areas around our hips. Maybe you bring your intention back into the practice here. You remember your intention. What are you looking to grow in your life right now, starting today? What are you looking to grow more of or new of? Maybe you're literally planting seeds for your garden. Maybe you're figuratively planting seeds to manifest your goals. What are your goals right now? They always shift and change. Springtime is a time of renewal and intention and kind of starting fresh for us to work towards what we're looking to grow more of in our life. So just be with that and be with the idea of that you can manifest anything that you really want to manifest in your life. It takes effort. It takes discipline, perseverance. But we are capable of so much more than we think we are. Let's start to bring those knees upright. Bring them back in towards your chest. Just rock a little side to side. We're going to get one more into our hips. So bring your left foot to the floor and cross your right ankle over the left thigh. Press your right knee away from you. And then slowly start to lift your left foot. Bring your right hand between the legs to clasp your left hand behind your left leg. So your right hand is kind of between your legs. And we're pulling on that left leg, getting into the back of our hip here. Also lower back. Take a few deep breaths in and out. Maybe you start to rock a little bit to the left-hand side. Maybe you rock a little bit to the right-hand side. Take a couple more breaths here. And then we'll release your left foot down, release your right foot down, and cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Lift your right foot and grab behind that right thigh with both hands. Pulling that leg a little bit closer to you. Maybe you start to rock a little bit to the right. Feeling good in that outer hip. Maybe you rock a little bit to the left. Take a couple more breaths here. And then slowly releasing your right foot back down, left foot back down. Both legs go straight, arms go back. Do a nice big stretch. Squeeze the glutes and the face. Take a big breath in. And exhale, relax for your Shavasana. Now, if there's any additional movements or postures that your body really wants from you to do right now, please be my guest and do them. Right? You can do a happy baby pose. You can twist again, but maybe you just set yourself up for your Shavasana. Putting a layer of clothing on, grabbing your pillow or your blanket to bring under your neck or your knees. So find any support you need and let's enjoy a nice rest here together. Let's enjoy a few minutes here in our Shavasana together. Perfect. We have about 4 minutes to rest, and that is almost equivalent to taking a 20-minute nap. If we really dive in here, let's just rest. So let your legs be long, heavy over whatever support. Tuck your shoulders underneath you, let your eyelids close. Exhale everything out of the body. And then take a nice deep breath in, fill the belly, ribs, and your chest and your throat. Hold it up, sip it up. And an open mouth exhale, let it all go. And any wiggles out of the body so that you can commit to intentional rest here in your Shavasana. I'll keep track of time, so all you have to focus on is relaxing and resting more. beginning to slowly reawaken the body by deepening your breath. Noticing again the inside layer of your eyelids, swallowing, moving the eyes under the lids and rolling your ankles around, rolling your wrists around. And then reach your arms back and let your legs go long and lengthen and reach and stretch and flex everything. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and relax. Bend your knees and you're going to roll over onto your side. And then use your hands and your sense of touch to press yourself up to a seat. We'll close our practice here together. Sitting nice and tall. Lifting your heart, hands resting on the lap. Take a nice full breath in. And open mouth exhale. And just pause here for a moment, observing the effects of your practice this evening. Let's meet your palms together in front of your heart and bow your head down to your heart and just take a moment of gratitude for having brought yourself here today. To start off your spring in such intention. Reminding yourself of your intention as you move through your days and remind yourself of what you're working towards. What growth are you inviting in? Looking to grow more up. Let's rub our palms together, generate some heat and energy in your hands. And then bring your warm palms to cup over your closed eyes, barely on your face. Take a deep breath in. Slowly release your hands down the face and let your palms connect again in front of your heart. Believe in yourself and do what you are supposed to. Appreciate yourself, enjoy yourself, and love yourself. From my heart to yours, my friends, namaste. Yay! Thank you, friends. I hope you feel stretched, warmed up in your joints and all the things. Yay. I'm so glad you enjoyed that practice.